Hello and welcome to week 7 of my Beachcombing Blanket crochet along. For those of you who read my blog post last week, you may have read that I'm planning this week in my video to take you around that headland you can see behind me. I realise you've seen that in lots of the videos that I've shared, and now it's low tide, so the timing is right for us to have a little stroll around there. So along this stretch of coast we have these enormous white chalk cliffs, really spectacular, and this little stretch of beach doesn't have any sea defence, so to the west and to the east we have sea defences, but here we regularly have cliff falls, and over the years that I've lived here I've seen this particular stretch of beach really change its shape with all the regular cliff falls. And we have to be really careful. It's really tempting to sit at the base of these cliffs, but it potentially is very, very unsafe. And just walking along here, do you see this big piece of metal? This has been here for at least a couple of years, so that gives you some idea of how heavy it is, that the sea hasn't been able to shift it. And it's a keel from a yacht, so slightly worrying when you find beachcombing finds like this, because obviously that boat will have been in quite some danger when the keel came off whilst at sea, I assume, but hopefully they would have got to safety. But the keel of their boat has been on our beach for a very long time. I need to go and catch up with Salty. The sea has formed these caves, really spectacular. And you can see here where we have seaweed clinging to the base of these cliffs, and you can see how high the water actually comes. Little bits of seaweed right up here. We've got some rock pools here. And then here we've got an amazing little cave that the sea has shaped. I have to be really careful when I'm walking because it can get really, really slippery here. So this cave actually goes really far back. And here's all the seaweed on the walls, so at high tide this cave is completely submerged. Again, the seaweed here gives some idea of how high the water comes in at high tide. So now I'm the other side of that headland, come round, and I'm on the next beach along, which is only ever accessible at low tide. So week 7, we're going to be doing our second side panel along all these squares, and then we're going to be doing the very start of our top and bottom panels. So the blanket's really coming together now, and I hope you're enjoying it. And I also want to say how much I'm enjoying the community that's building up around this blanket. It's just so lovely to see you all sharing photos and progress. And I must give a special mention to the Facebook group. I know not everybody's on Facebook, and that's perfectly okay. But those of you who are in the Facebook group, I check in on a daily basis, and I know that lots of you have posted questions in there or asked things, and it's just so lovely for me to see that everyone's replying and helping out, and it's not just down to me to answer those questions. So thank you so much for embracing this whole community event, and it's just wonderful that we have this community building up around a crocheted blanket. And here you can see there's been quite a recent cliff fall. You can see the bits of chalk that have come down from this piece of cliff. And after these cliff falls, you can see how jagged the chalk is. But if you look over here, we have lots and lots of pieces of smoothed chalk, which again, the actions of the sea have smoothed all these into little round chalk boulders. And here is some fishing nets that I've just come across, which is inspired. Do you remember week 3 and our fishing nets and fishing boys square? Inspired by these green fishing nets that we do so often see wash up on our shores. And there's someone having their daily exercise. I'm a little bit further along now, and in that time you can see the tide has gone out even further. And so here at the base of the cliffs, in a slightly sort of cave area, this must be where the water really sort of funnels into one at high tide, and has deposited a lot of litter that we do so often find when we're beachcombing. And this is the sort of thing that we take home and dispose of it appropriately, because it's not good for the beach and it's not good for the wildlife, and it's just, yeah, a real worry. But you can also see amongst all this litter, I've got some nice pieces of driftwood. I'm not sure what that yellow thing is. Really not sure what that is. Some more fishing nets, bits of seaweed, shells, crab shell there. Gosh, it is amazing what washes up, isn't it? And these little egg cases as well. There's the sole of someone's shoe there. Obviously a story behind that. More plastic packaging. And the wheel of something. We'll carry on round. Not sure how I'm going to negotiate this bit. Some of these rocks are really, really slippery. It's quite narrow, that bit, but I'm going to try. Oh gosh, this really is slippery. I'm with a camera in hand. Not really used to doing this. Need to be very careful. Oh, we can get a close-up of some of this seaweed here. And at the base of my feet, I've just noticed an amazing sea anemone. Do you see that? Isn't that amazing? This tiny pool of water that's been left at low tide, and the sea is such a long way out now. It's right over there. But these rock pools left behind are still so full of life. Oh, that's an amazing little discovery. I often see these at low tide, but they're closed up. I've not actually seen one open like this in a very, very long time. And here you can see them closed up. They're sort of not in the water anymore. This is how I usually see them, so to have seen one with the little tentacles out was a real treat. And another one with the tentacles out in a tiny, tiny pool of water. It's such a treat to see them like this. Oh, I hear a helicopter coming. Looks like it's the Coast Guard. I'm always so grateful to the coastal emergency services. Living here, it's really reassuring. We did have to call the lifeboat once. That's a whole other story. A happy outcome, thankfully. And that's it. We've come right round the headland, and we're now at a point along the beach where we'll be able to go up. What do you think, Salty? Would you like that? I'm just walking on this final beach, and there's an amazing shell. There's classic shaped big shells. Beautiful find. Just walking up here, and there's an amazing piece of driftwood. That's a really, really nice piece. Definitely something I could combine with my crochet. Lovely. So I hope you've enjoyed sharing that stroll with me around the chalk headland. I've really enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying doing these videos for you because it's really making me be super observant and looking for things that might be of interest. So wow, that was an amazing walk. I'm really enjoying discovering little parts of this beach that perhaps I've started taking for granted, although I do make an extra effort never to take this beautiful piece of coast for granted. So enjoy the crochet, enjoy the inspiration, and hope you have a good week, and hopefully see you again next week. Thanks for watching.